Hello everyone, Fox here, and what are we doing? Well, this is the State of Decay 2 Twitter page, where if we scroll down a bit, oh, look at this. Have you played State of Decay 2 since the Bounty Broker update? Either way, we'd love to get your feedback. You can help us improve by taking this survey. So, Undead Labs has apparently released a survey on the website SurveyMonkey, and typically speaking, you don't release a game survey unless you're unsure about things. So I do wonder if Undead Labs is testing to see how people feel about the game, trying to take feedback in, especially because I don't think they have a forum. They don't really have a great way for people to give their suggestions in a more long form way. So let's read some of the content. Let's read some of the comments first. Done, but a certain question like 9 want an answer, and also that's him talking about an issue with the survey itself. Matt in Game says, scared to play this game. I just hate how choppy it is in gameplay. It's not ever smooth, and no, I won't be redirected to support and explain the issue. I'm sure y'all know it's choppy and hope you make the game smoother and more enjoyable. Malix Corvin and Metal Maka 17, they say that they aren't having that kind of problem, so bit divided on the issue. A lot of people just saying they have taken it. Unbelievably Me says, please give us a way to play for an extended amount of time past the legacy missions. This is probably referring to when you beat the game, you can't continue playing, it just shuts your community down. I've done them all already and just ignore them now, not even getting a leader yet, so that's exactly. Should still get a leader though, since you can get leader buildings. Can you incorporate this for people who have already done it, like Breakdown? Now, that's something I've heard requested a lot, is people want the return of Breakdown. I'm not entirely sure why that is, because the entire point of Breakdown was to allow you to reset the map and continue playing, which the game already kind of does that, so and Breakdown didn't really have a legacy mission. There were no missions, really. You just kind of played the game, so I know it's been a repeated request. People want something like Breakdown, but I feel like the game already delivers the primary thing of Breakdown, which is replenishing the map with things to loot, and also if you want a higher difficulty, there's Nightmare Zone. We've got someone just kind of going back and forth about it. And are there any other interesting comments? No, it looks like everyone is just saying that they've taken the survey. So let's do that as well. Now, I've already taken the survey, so I'm not going to submit this one. I'm just taking it a second time so you can see it. So let's begin. Question number 1. We launched an update for State of Decay 2 on Tuesday, August 6th. Have you heard about this? Yes. If you answered yes, what was the name of the update? Bounty Broker. If yes, have you played this update? Yes. If you answered no, why not? If your answer was no, you can skip to the end of the survey and click done. Well, I guess we would ignore this question. How would you rate your familiarity with the content in Update 10 before it shipped? I was pretty familiar. I read or I listened to all of the streams. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate Content Update 10's new content? I'm going to give it a 2. And here's the importance of picking it. Listen to this. If you rated Content 10's content, if you rated Update 10's content 1 or 2 stars, what could we have done to improve it to a 4 or 5 stars? So I think 3 is the least valuable feedback you could give, because they're either concerned with people being unsatisfied or very satisfied. If you're in the middle, I don't think it is really going to matter. So I don't think fence sitting is really going to be helpful feedback right now. I think what they care about are people who are unhappy and people who are happy. So if you were going to give this a 3 because you don't really know, you might want to think about it for a little bit and try to decide, are you more of a 2 or are you more of a 4? If you rated a 1 or 2 star, what could we have improved to get a 4 star? I'm going to give them 3 things. A unique voice for Cash Beaumont. I would say persistent bounties. And a unique weapon that isn't effectively a reskin or an existing weapon that uses, or essentially an existing weapon using different ammo. You drag this to make it a little bigger. I'm just going to put 3 down, no need to make it too complicated. How did you find out about... Let's actually talk about these. So, the unique voice for Cash Beaumont, I think it just sounds really cheap that he's just using the generic Red Talon voice. Persistent bounties. The biggest problem in State of Decay 2 is that there's nothing to do at what you'd call end game. There's no persistence in the game. You just do the same existing stuff over and over again. And then all of the weapons were basically the same kinds of weapons. None of them were really interesting. If you're a weapon aficionado and some of those weapons are your favorite guns, that's one thing. But if you don't care about like the make, manufacturer, or model of guns, then you probably don't care about any of those weapons. How did you find out about Update 10? I found out it from social media. Does this seem like an appropriate amount of content for an update? It was a really weird question. I'm going to temporarily put it on no. Actually, I am choosing no. But the reason I think it's a weird question is because it's not about the appropriate amount of content. It's about the quality of the content. You could release an update where there's not a whole lot of stuff to it. It's just bug fixes. But if those are good bug fixes, if you've got like good quality of life improvements, then that could be considered a good update. It could be considered sufficient for the update. On the other hand, you could have a really big update like when Daybreak came out. It had the new game mode, a whole bunch of new weapons, facilities, mods, and a variant of a new enemy, the Blood Juggernaut. But it just wasn't good, so it didn't matter that there was a large amount of content relative to the other updates. But the way I'm going to put it is quantity not relevant. Quality is king. Number 10, is this the type of content you like in an update? No. It's not, because I want persistent content to shake up or add to the gameplay loop. There we go. We'll use like a game design term. And let's talk about this one a little bit. So the real issue here is that once you do the bounties, well, that's it. Yes, they could add more bounties, but what if those bounties are also just one and done bounties? What if you just finish those new bounties and that's the end of it? Well, you'll be in the same problem where they won't be able to keep making content nearly as quickly as even the typical player will be able to consume it, let alone an advanced player. They need sustainable content. How do you play State of Decay 2? I use a digital copy, and I play on the Xbox. So I'm not going to submit it because I'm not going to give 2 surveys because I've already done it. But that is the survey, so I encourage you to try it. Once again, like typically, I mean, you can still collect information even when you're doing good, but I find that wanting to know people's opinions about things is more relevant when things are not going your way, when things have kind of gone awry. So this is probably the time to join the voice of these other people here and tell Undead Labs what you think. And I would also encourage to avoid fence sitting. If you're always picking kind of like the average choice, then it probably means you need to think about it a little bit more. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that if you genuinely don't know the answer, then that's the answer. But before you answer like a 3 out of 5, I would say think about it. Are you more of a 4 or are you more of a 2? Because I think those are going to be more valuable to Undead Labs. Picking a stand, like making a strong point and taking a stand, I think is going to be more valuable than just taking the median. And because I don't think the medium really tells Undead Labs anything. So yeah, that's what I think. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. What kind of answers did you, I mean, we don't need to know, like did you know the name of the update, etc. Tell me on the more interesting questions, what did you choose and why? Like when they ask, what are the things that you would have wanted? What are the things that you wrote down? That's what I'm curious to know. What does the community think? At any rate, I will link I will just put this link here, surveymonkey.com/rupdate10. I'll put this in the pinned comment on this video so that you can find it. And, well, that'll be that. Go ahead and take that survey. At any rate, that's the end of the video. Like this video if it was informative, subscribe for future State of Decay 2 content, and of course remember that you don't have to be good to get good.